Hello, string players. This video is an introduction on how to read music. There are going to be several other videos along the way, but this first video is for all of the instruments. So if you play violin, viola, cello, or bass, you can follow along on this video. We are going to first look into the packet that I shared with you in class. And if you haven't received it yet, that's okay too. You can still learn a lot from this video, and eventually you'll get that packet. This is what the first page of our note reading packet looks like. Our music staff has 5 lines. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And it has spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5 lines and 4 spaces. Now we have notes that are on the line, and they've got the lines running right through those note heads. Sometimes the notes are open like this, like these are whole notes, but sometimes they're closed up as well. These notes right here are all in the space. Now, as I am going through this with you all, you'll often see me do things such as if it's in a space, like my head is, the note head is in the space. So this is a space, this is a space, this is a space. And then I've said that the shish kebab notes, the ones that go right through the note head. And so we've got notes that are right through the note head, and then we've got things that are above it, like so. When we have notes that are above and below the staff, however, we call those ledger lines. And you'll see that right here. These are ledger lines. It's like an extension ladder of the staff. And so they go above and below the staff. But the most important thing to remember, regardless of the ledger lines, is it in between the lines or is it right through the lines? Now, our music is split up into segments called measures. Just like a ruler is split up into increments of like inches, half inches, and such, ours are split up into measures. Another name for measure is a bar. Each measure is separated by this stem right here, which is called a bar line. And you'll see that as we go down this page right here. This is a bar line. Now, we've got measure 1, measure 2, measure 3, and measure 4. That's how it's all split up. This right here, well, it looks like a fraction, and in theory, I suppose it probably is a fraction, but we don't read it like a fraction. This is called the time signature. The top number tells us how many beats are going to be in each one of these measures that we've got. The bottom number tells us what kind of note is going to get 1 beat. We're going to move forward from that because that could be a tough thing to get our head wrapped around. But right now we're going to focus on this top number, the number 4. So there's going to be 4 beats in a measure. When we talk about the time signature, the way that we would read this is that it is 4/4. We are in 4/4 time. Now, this again is the bar line. When we see this in music at the end of a line, we know that the song is going to keep going. When we see this, however, this is the double bar. We've got a skinny one and we've got a wide bar line at the end. The double bar line means that the song is over. And then the other thing that we're going to see a whole bunch is this right here. This is a repeat sign. 2 lines and 2 dots means you get 2 shots, or you could even say 2 dots and 2 lines means you do it 2 times, 2 times, 2 times. Now, we're going to move into another thing before we move forward. We've been doing this in class. Hopefully you'll remember. But this is when we go to practice with our friends. So we are all playing together. We're going to go back and reference our time signature. Remember, that's the one that looks like the fraction. So this is 2/4 time, this is 3/4, and this is 4/4. If our top number is a 2, then we're going to do this fun little call and response thing that we did in class. In fact, I'm going to skip 2 and 3 because we've been working on 4. When we have the top number being a 4, the teacher is going to say 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the group will respond with 1, 2, ready, say. Now, I did say teacher, but if you're with a group of friends, one friend can be the leader and they can count off for us. So they can say 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the group says 1, 2, ready, say. And do you hear how I'm saying it with the space? Ready, say. That's to really help keep us together in time, to really make sure that we are saying it all at the right speed, or in music terms, the right tempo. Now, we've said say. That's if we're going to read some notes. Now, if we are just going to play them, we would say ready, play. But if we want to make sure that our eyes are staying glued to the page as we're reading it and playing it together, we're going to mash up the words play and say, and we end up getting the word slay. Okay, so it would be, if we were to slay it, it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, ready, slay. Now, we're going to move forward. Even though this says cello, this is still for everybody right now. I want to draw your attention to a couple of things. First of all, this note right here, regardless of it being cello music, this note has a line running through it. Remember how I told you we would have notes with lines through them, or they could be filled in? So this note is on a line. It's a shish kebab note. It's running right through the note head. But if we look up here, this note right here, where it says B, this note is in a space. It's sitting on top of the line. This note's in a space too, because you see there's a ledger line, but it's still above the line. So we want to make sure that we know when a note is in a line or in a space. And so as we continue to move forward with our note reading, these are all things that we need to consider. So we're going to remember, first we're going to remember that music is split up into measures, and it's separated by bar lines, and that we read a time signature, and we as friends, or if you're practicing alone, always count yourself off. The top number is 4, which it's going to be for a while. You'd say 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, ready, say. That's all we have for this video. Now go to the next video so we can start reading notes for your actual instrument. Remember, this is going to start to get a little bit tricky, and that's okay, because when it's difficult, you are learning.